right, it is 7:30. It is Monday, and that means it's time for a little learning. So we're kind of hanging out here in my little office. You haven't seen this part of it, maybe. Sorry not to make you dizzy. And look who I have with me. Hi, Ram. Well, thank you. We are in week 2 post-op of his knee surgery. So we're just going to kind of chillax here. He's more fun to watch than I am. So you guys can just kind of chill in on little Ramsey here while we kind of talk about some of the things I wanted to highlight tonight. We have this really interesting holiday coming up. It's the beginning of our holiday season. Halloween is on Friday, and with that, we are loaded with sugar. I was a big proponent of it. I used to buy my bags of candy. Starting in September, I'd hide them, and then I would eat them, and then I would have to buy more candy. So I don't know if any of you are like that. So fully aware of how Halloween can be. And that's his cow. I'll move him out because he's cuter to watch. But I just thought I'd kind of just go over some of the different things of how you can actually handle sugar holidays. So without feeling awful afterwards. So I always like to remind my clients that your symptoms that you may experience when you're having them are very common, but they're not normal. And so what I also want you to kind of recognize is some of the symptoms that may be related with your inability to digest things right. Maybe you're tired, you're moody, you might have some tummy aches, maybe some bloating, especially after eating sweets. That's simply your body telling you, I just didn't really care for it. And so let's just kind of walk through maybe some of the things that you can do because we are embarking on the holiday season. So I like 80-20. 80-20 is a rule that I use with clients, and I kind of use it with myself as well. 80% of the time, and sometimes even a little bit more for me, I actually like to try to eat as healthy as I can with whole foods. I'm really looking for protein, a vegetable carbohydrate, and a healthy fat every time I'm eating in order to help balance my blood sugar. And if you're doing that most of the time, things actually can be pretty good. And every once in a while, you might sway outside of that norm, and then it won't be necessarily as bad of an option for you to do. So you can still enjoy treats, but just always kind of remember that there might be a way to do it in an easier method in order to help balance the blood sugar. And so we're going to talk about that next. So it actually starts when we're going to be getting into like the sugar season or the treat season. How do you plan ahead? So one thing I love to do, and I like to help people understand, before the party, that's when I recommend you eat. That's when you really want to, that day of that party, really load up on the healthy food. Load up on those vegetables that are going to provide things for you to eat. Load up on the great, amazing protein to help you sustain that blood sugar and some healthy fats. Then when you get to this party, things aren't going to necessarily be as bad for you. Make sure that you're hydrating. Make sure that you're getting enough water. Make sure that you're moving and exercising throughout the day. Because then you're going to hit to this party. So whether it's party or it's trick-or-treating, first thing you're going to want to do, okay, we've already kind of preempted by eating, or when you get to the party, if it's a party, pick a couple of things that you're kind of eyeing up that you might want to have as far as the snack. Then, really great thing to do is if there's any other foods available, eat those foods. So I like to use, maybe tacos. Tacos are a real easy Halloween kind of thing. So you could easily go for the meats, go for the veggies of the taco salad, for example. Really load up on that. And then you might be eyeing up those candy bars. Okay, pick one, pick two, and then stop at that. Now, that's a lot easier said than done, right? But if your belly's full and your blood sugar is somewhat balanced at that point, having a little bit of that extra sugar is not going to necessarily cause an increase in a spike for you. So that's why I recommend doing it that way. Really making sure that you're drinking that water, that's super important. And I'd even actually encourage you to add a little, either some electrolytes or add some salt to it. When we're eating higher sugar volumes, potentially we're kind of pulling more minerals out of our body. And so that'll help replenish that. And then move, get out and walk a little bit. You'll burn off that sugar that you just ingested, and that'll make you maybe not feel as bad the next day. Because the next day is going to come. What do I want you to do? I want you to just kind of watch and see how you're feeling. If you're not feeling very good, that might be a sign that your body didn't really tolerate it very well. So don't go beat yourself up over it. Don't have guilt. Just kind of recognize and say, you know what? I kind of felt cruddy. I had a headache. I was kind of a little achy. I felt really bloated. Those are all symptoms of your body's inability to digest very well. So it's just something to kind of keep an eye on and then just kind of catalog that for the next time. And again, remember, the big thing is that celebrations are going to happen, but we can do some little pre-work in order to kind of help be able to enjoy that celebration a little bit better. something I'd love to encourage you to do, go ahead and sign up for my newsletter. I do put one out every single month. You can register for that newsletter on my website. It's completely free. I send out tips and tricks of some healthy things that you can try to do, and also some of my favorite recipes. I like to really help people understand how can you start converting things. And on November 11th, I actually have a class that I'll be teaching through River Falls Community Education. It's super fun. I'm actually working on writing it right now. And it just helps you understand what are some of the reasons as to why we might want to try to convert some of our holiday recipes. So I grew up with holiday recipes just like everyone else does and eats. And I've kind of made some shifts and changes. And so I want to help introduce you to what are they, how are they, and how do you do it? So it's going to be a super fun class, lots of recipes, and I'm even going to have some samples of things. So I'll put a link below because you're going to need to register through Community Ed in order to do this. Again, thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a safe Halloween and candy season. And just kind of remember, keeping up with balancing that blood sugar, eating ahead beforehand, really packing in the really great, amazing things, doing a little walking to help use the sugar up that you're doing, and just give yourself a little bit of grace. Okay, every once in a while we're going to eat a whole bunch of candy. All right, bye-bye.